Welcome to Sound of Hope News. I'm your host, Wei Fang.
And I'm Kathy Zhang.
And so today we'll be talking about some very interesting, speech in China, which has rocked the world, the Chinese world, in the last couple of days. And basically, a scholar said something which will become viral, and everybody's watching it, everybody's commenting on that, and everybody's talking about it. And it has to do with the secret of the economy miracle of China in the last 20, 30 years. Okay, as you know, after entered WTO, China's economy has been just zooming forward. Is in very fast manner, and it surpassed Japan in terms of GDP in 2010, and it is aims to overtake U.S. in the next few years. All right, so wow, what happened? They must be very productive. They must be very smart, right?
Yeah, and in the United States, especially in the last 4 years, the government, Trump administration has always been very tough on the Chinese enterprise, how they steal the technology, right?
Yeah.
But on the Chinese government side, they always deny it.
Mm-hmm.
But this scholar, actually tell the truth.
So this scholar is a business consultant. He's also the professor of a very famed university, Nanjing Daxue, and also he's the MBA and EMBA so-called visiting professor of the top schools of China, top university in China. So in a closed-door session, he commented about this. Remember just a few days ago, right? This is the China foreign minister and the former foreign minister Yang Jiechi and Wang Yi. They were very, very strong with the Secretary of the State, Blinken, right? So he basically, as they sit down, open up their dialogue in Anchorage, Alaska, 2 weeks ago, and then they just spoke Chinese for 60 minutes, and having Blinken just sitting there and listen to them. All right, and among all the talk, some words are like, you have no qualification. You have no qualification to speak from the position of the strength. Those kind of a strong attitude, and it really shocked the whole world. Actually, a few days after, this professor, his name is Professor Zhang Qichao, and then made this speech in an environment. Somebody used an iPhone or whatever phone to shoot it, upload on the TikTok, and let's take a look. Take a look at the subtitle. Okay, see whether you can follow that. 好。
改革开放，国门打开，让老外走进来，技术带进来，车带进来，钱带进来，经验带进来，智慧带进来。中国政府没法抄袭老外，但是中国政府干嘛？可以鼓励老百姓创业，和老外干嘛？合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干。又光40年，学会了，我们全部单干了。最后回头一看，厂房攒了，设备攒了，技术攒了，专利攒了，产品攒了，市场攒了，品牌攒了，老外全做完了。现在，所以我们的杨外长和我们的王外长才有资格和美国在谈判的时候才那么强硬。你们是没有资格这么给我谈话的。你发现回头看，咱40年就干2次抄袭。一路抄到世界第1排，我们是野蛮抄袭、野蛮复制，什么知识产权、什么专利技术，高在说。可是突然间回头发现2件事情出现：第一，美国发现了，不让再抄了；第二个，咱自己也发现了，为啥？咱已经抄到第1排了，再往前抄没图纸了。咱回头想，妈的，图纸从哪来？专利从哪来呢？妈，自己要研发。这个时候，咱政府立刻提出一个，从现在开始要明白哈，话不能这么说呀，咱就提出个口号，叫“发展才是硬道理”。现在把它撕下来。换成什么？创新才是第一生产力。这政府老早就5年前、10年前，政府都口号都喊出来，咱只是不知道而已。
Okay.
Okay, he spoke very quickly.
Yeah, maybe a little too fast. Mm-hmm. And Kathy, if you can look at the chat room to see whether our friends, our folks, whether you are able to follow that.
Yeah,
follow that. And let me just rephrase them. Okay. So basically, he said. How did we have our economic miracle? Okay, he said after we started reforming and opened up our door, and then we let foreign the foreign enterprise companies to come in. All right, so as a government, it's not convenient for us to just steal from them, but we can encourage our our non-government companies, ask them to do it. So in the last 40 years, what we did is we learned to partner with other people so that we can do it alone. He said that for 4 times. We partner with them so that we do it alone.
We will partner, then we learn,
And,
and
we
then
do it
we
alone.
do it alone.
So after 40 years, we have our own patent, we have our own technology, we have our own manufacturing infrastructure, we have everything, and we just kick them out. Okay? So after 40 years, they're all gone. Those foreigners were all gone. Their technology, everything we kept. We keep, right? We keep. This is what he said. He said that's the reason our foreign minister, Yang Jiechi and Wang Yi, can be so strong. And they even say to Americans, saying that you have no qualification to speak with us. He was really, just laughing.
He was mocking them, saying that that's, the strategy that the Chinese Communist government used, so that in the past 40 years, that was enable these 2 foreign ministers be able to, say that so strongly, talk so strongly with the United States Secretary of State. And I know from our audience, people feel it's really embarrassed, right? During that Alaska conversation, I'm sure some people just feel embarrassed. But you see behind the scene, why the Chinese Communist government and their officials, they feel why they can be so strong, because through counterfeit, through copycat, they become the front line.
So this guy went on to say, how do we copy? We just copy in the, brutal way. We copy, we plagiarize, and just everything we can. We just disregard whatever patent, doesn't matter, we just copy them all. And so after suddenly we found 2 things. 2 things happened. First, American found it. They don't allow us to copy anymore.
They realized it.
Yeah, they realized it. They don't allow us to copy anymore. The second, we found we got nothing else to copy. We have copied everything. Okay, that's what he said. We have copied everything. Now, so since we got nothing else to copy, we have to innovate now, because there's nothing else to copy. Mm-hmm. So now the government is saying that let's pull down the original slogan, which is 发展才是硬道理, means that whatever it takes, as long as we can develop, whatever means we can take it. All right? This is the former slogan. Now we shall say the new slogan, saying that innovation is the new productivity. Okay? So he said that's basically our formula. All right. So I don't know how you think about that. He's not the only person who said that. Another big mouth scholar, his name is Jing Canrong.
Yeah, we shared it with you last time.
But I just want to share this with you again. And then let's just take a look at what he said in the 2016. Not something new, but the content is very new. It's the first time known to people. But he spoke this 5 years ago. Let's see whether our DJ can show that show that on the screen. So can we? Okay, just take a look at that. Let me read it for you, okay, from the beginning, not too many words. In the past 30 years, Germany has given us the biggest help with our technology import. Germany's help accounts for 46% of the imported technology. The Yankees has the best technology in the world's most cutting-edge technology in the past 30 years were all invented by the Americans. But they just don't sell them to us. If you don't sell to us, we won't be polite. In the past, there's no internet, so we had nothing to do. Now, since there's such a thing called the internet, we of course will make good use of it. All right. So basically, because of the interconnection of these two countries, because of the interconnectivity of the internet, they simply just hack into every system we have here in this country. They just steal everything. They have no any regard for moral, for law and order, for patent, for whatever. Okay? Because think about it. Communists, they're atheists. I'm sorry. They're afraid of nobody. There's no God. I steal something, if I can get away, that's my success. If I got caught, that's my bad fortune. As simple as that. That's their philosophy. That's their logic. As long as I can get away, that's my success.
Yeah, in this Jing, the for the vice dean in the Renmin University School of Foreign Relations, he also said in the same speech, he said that we, regarding the manufacturing industry in China, he said that there are a few things we can brag about, and among them is the China's copycat ability is unparalleled. And he said it has created a miracle in the history of human copycats. And then he used a example. It was in 2016, right? He said last month, the CEO of Alibaba, Jack Ma, was involved in a small controversy because people were, the consumers were unhappy, were upset about how it's a network called the Taobao. The internet commerce. It was selling counterfeit goods. And he said later, Jack Ma came out and explained. He said, I also don't want to sell those fake stuff. I want to reduce them. But he said, please forgive me. The level of counterfeit in China is too high. It's so high that a lot of times I cannot even just differentiate from the counterfeit with the genuine ones. And he said that's the reality. And he also bragged that the counterfeit is equivalent to how children practicing calligraphy. He just really rationalized that.
Yeah.
He said that you first you must copy, then you become mature, then you innovate. And he said that when it's China's turn to do the copycats, it's he just really rationalized it, saying that there is a theory in the economics called the later come advantage.
Mm-hmm.
He said if we don't take advantage of it, it's a
later comer
advantage. We are not responsible for the people, for our Communist Party. That's his rationality. And he said now we must copy it, because also technology innovation is very expensive.
Yeah, we don't blame any later comer advantage model, but the thing is that it needs to be done legally and morally. They have no regard for that because they have the protection of this regime, right? No police in the United States can go to China and find those counterfeiters. So they just got away, okay? Under the protection of the regime, they steal the entire world in the last 20 years. And as we deal with them, as we interact with them, okay, we are hurting. This is a very plain and a very cruel reality, guys. Let me tell you this, okay? Maybe I told you this last time. There's this nationalist party, the leader. His name is called Chiang Kai-shek, and Mandarin is called Jiang Jieshi, okay? And he was the president of the Republic of China, which was defeated by its communists and retreat to the island of Taiwan, right? This is where the Taiwan government is today. In his lifetime, in the Chiang Kai-shek's lifetime, he had two so-called collaboration with the Chinese Communist Party, okay, with the CCP. The first collaboration enabled Chinese Communist Party to grow from a group of about 20 people to 200,000 people. Okay, that's the result of the first collaboration. The second collaboration enabled the communist China's army from a mere 20,000 to 3 million, to 4 million people army. So Chiang Kai-shek really learned this hard way. After he retreated to Taiwan, he told this to his son, whose name is Jiang Jingguo, who's the later president of the Republic of China in Taiwan. He said, never deal or even interact with the Communist Party. They cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. Then in the 1980, okay, after the separation of the separation between the of the Taiwan Strait and then the both sides don't talk. In 1980, when Deng Xiaoping started his reform, right? Deng Xiaoping came to the U.S., went to Texas, go to a ranch, put on the cowboy hat, and pretend to be very naive and very friendly and very harmless, and want to learn from the West. Okay, this is the time CCP tried to rebrand itself, and it succeeded in the U.S. And they tried to do the same branding with Taiwan. He's saying that, now's the new age. We are just brothers. Okay, we had a bad fight. How about we just reunite? We are brothers anyway. That's their rhetoric, right? Okay. So at that time, the president of Taiwan, the son, okay, Jiang Jingguo, he said, I give you 3 no. I give you 3 no. No contact, no negotiation, and no compromise. Okay, that's his 2 generations lesson that they learn with an entire country and with so many lives. He learned this 3 no, give them 3 no. No contact, no compromise, and no negotiation. Turn out he's right. Okay, then later Taiwan didn't follow his instruction. They still got interact with mainland China in the hope of a shared economic boom of mainland China so that Taiwan can improve its economy. But guys, I went to Taiwan first time in 2004. The last time it was 2013. In almost 10 years, there's literally no development, no economic development of Taiwan. Why? Because the CCP suck all the energy, all the fund, all the resource of Taiwan to enrich itself, and they just left Taiwan in cold. Okay.
Yeah, and actually Taiwan probably is was ahead of Americans went into China, right?
Yeah,
to help them to develop the economy. But we talked to a lot of the entrepreneurs from Taiwan, and that they really learned a hard lesson how. Just previously, when we show you how they pretend to partner with you, then learn from you, then kick you out.
Yeah.
That start in the beginning of the 1980s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just before the show, okay, I was talking to my colleagues, another radio host, and she shared with me her experience. Okay, after she graduated from college, she entered a company called Huarun Electronics. And that's a joint venture between Chinese and Taiwanese. Okay, that's in a few years ago. Okay, so Taiwanese brought all their technology there. They set up this joint venture. This is a semiconductor company, okay, high tech. And then soon after the Chinese learned all the technology, they kicked them all out. They drove them all out. All right, just overnight, and they took over everything. And then, of course, she said, actually, it doesn't quite work because they only know the surface. They don't know the inside.
The core.
So when some technology issue arise, they couldn't resolve it. Okay, but this kind of thing kept happening again and again. Like General Motors, right? General Motors went in China very early in the 1980s. They brought their funding, they brought their technology, and the Chinese only needs to come up with their labor. Okay, labor and 厂房, the site, factory house, factory room, whatever. Okay, so then they demand they have all the technology. They share all the technology of how to make a truck, how to make a car. Okay, so that's how the Chinese car industry, automobile industry got created, got launched. And then same thing happened to the General Electronics. Their investment in China is a very, very bitter experience. They basically lost all their know-how to China. Okay, and they make no money. They made no money. Just like this professor said, after 40 years, they're all gone. Those foreigners, they're all gone. We kept everything. We keep everything. They got nothing. They earn nothing. So this is the real lesson, guys. As we try to share with it, the very reason, right, we do this program is because we were told, we were asked by our fellow Chinese Americans to come here to do this show, because we have to convey this to you. The reason why this guy dared to spoke so boldly is because he thinks it's an enclosed scenario, enclosed place, and then he was only speaking Chinese. He thinks those foreigners, those stupid foreigners, they don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm enjoying talking, showing off my know-how and things like that. Unfortunately, there are some Chinese Americans called Wei and Kathy know how to translate it and just pass it on to you. And we will pass this on to as many people as we can. And I ask you to pass this on to as many as people you can. Because the world has to be, awakened, has to be awakened. And we have to come to realize CCP is not a neighbor just with some bad habit. It is a poisonous snake, which is bound to bite, to attack and bite. So if you don't mind, can we just play that again? I just want you to take a look of this guy. This is the original word. 我们再放一遍好吗？the 藏启超. Let's just watch it again. Just look at the subtitle.
改革开放国门打开，让老外走进来，技术带进来，车带进来，钱带进来，经验带进来，智慧带进来。中国政府没法抄袭老外，但是中国政府干嘛？可以鼓励老百姓创业，和老外干嘛？合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干，合伙学会单干。又光40年学会了，我们全部单干了。最后回头一看，厂房攒了，设备攒了，技术攒了，专利攒了，产品攒了，市场攒了，品牌攒了，老外全做完了。现在所以我们的杨外长和我们的王外长才有资格和美国在谈判的时候才那么强硬。你们是没有资格这么给我谈话的。你发现回头看，咱40年就干2次抄袭，一路抄到世界第1排。我们是野蛮抄袭、野蛮复制，什么知识产权、什么专利技术高在说。可是突然间回头发现2件事情出现：第一，美国发现不让再抄了；第二个，咱自己也发现了，为啥？咱已经抄到第1排了，再往前抄没图纸了。咱回头想，妈的，图纸从哪来？专利从哪来呢？妈，自己要研发。这个时候，咱政府立刻提出一个，从现在开始要明白话不能这么说呀。咱就提出个口号，叫“发展才是硬道理”。现在把它撕下来，换成什么？创新才是第1生产力。这政府老早就5年前、10年前，政府都口号都喊出来，咱只是不知道而已。
Okay. So, all right. So what I want to finally the two last thing I want to share with you. The first, they think there are strategies like this. We copy as much as we can until we got nothing else to copy, and then we start to innovate. All right, that's our formula. That's the formula is daytime dreaming. They got no way to do that because as they teach everybody to copy, to plagiarize, they kill the spirit of the innovation. Okay, everybody in China now, literally, they learn it is faster to copy, it's more costly to innovate. We don't innovate. We wait until somebody got something new. We will disregard patent. We'll disregard their intellectual rights. We'll just copy it. Ended up nobody's innovating in China, literally. Okay, so they basically, as they try to get ahead, they kill their their spirit of innovation. Okay, they create their own failure in the future. This is the first thing I want to say. The second thing is this. We have to learn from President Jiang Jieshi and Jiang Jingguo. Decouple with China, decouple with CCP. Decouple with CCP. That's the only way to protect our internet. That's the only way to stop them from hacking in. They have no disregard. They have no regard for any law and order and intellectual property. And if they steal, they can get away. They regard that as a success. So the West, the US, the Britain, the UK, the Canada, whatever country, European Union, have to learn this. Is an evil empire, it's an evil regime. Decouple with it. That's the only way for the future.
Yeah, and I do have another point, another takeaway to share with you. I think actually there's a bright side. The bright side is actually, we all know, by counterfeit, by copycat, they won't be able really to become a number one in the world. Sadly, it's a sad reality, right? But on the other hand, I think it really highlights the values of freedom. Actually, why United States can stay at the top of the innovation, right? That's because of our founding values and our freedom. So in China, if the Chinese Communist government, still keep this totalitarian regime, and there's no way they can have such innovation. So I think the bright side for the United States is we actually need to have our confidence, need to have the confidence in our system, and really truly to realize who is our enemy. Because we all have the reality is not satisfied, but we should truly know who is our real enemy, and to really come together to just protect our freedom, protect the base for our innovation and the prosperity. That's what my takeaway would like to share with you.
Yeah, I'm really with that. And so how about this? Let's move on to the next topic.
Okay. So very quickly, actually during the last week in China, a lot of the major global fashion brands are suffering like the boycott. Okay, this is because those products are those products like Nike, H&M, Gap, Zara, Adidas, all those products. Why? Because the companies all made a statement saying that they do not concur with the Chinese Communist government's the activity in Xinjiang, how they are violating the human rights in Xinjiang with the Uyghurs. So, and then the Chinese Communist government started a wave of boycotting on the internet. But you know what? Actually, just after 3 days, a really interesting thing happened. And let's see a video. It's the second video I would like to share with you. It shows how the Chinese people, consumers, actually are really like rush into the store, like the Nike store and other those branding stores to get the products. Look at that. People are lining up to try to get in the store. People just cannot wait to get those Nike shoes. Because because the Nike stores are having some discounts. So, how do you view that? For the Chinese Communist government, they are instigating such a kind of thinking that if you criticize our human rights record, we will just boycott you. We don't, you can. What they are saying on the internet is you cannot just, referring to those branding stores. You cannot just try to make money, and on the other hand, you're criticizing us. We don't allow that. That's what the CCP's message. However, although it seems like on the internet, on the social media, Chinese social media, a lot of people are following that kind of rhetoric, but in real situation, people are they just like those branding products, and when there is a new products came out, and when they have discounts, people just rush, try to get their own. So, it's really, how to say, it's a hypocrisy, right?
Yeah,
hypocrisy.
Okay, so I guess that we it. Let's.
I think the takeaway is that the Chinese Communist government usually, don't just look at the surface of it. It seems so strong, right? They get so strong against the U.S. diplomats, and they seem so powerful, but inside of it, it's really weak, because you can see how they just disregard the morals, disregard values. And it's very sad, as we and Kathy, we all came from mainland China. It's not what the Chinese traditional culture was. Really, the Chinese Communist Party destroyed traditional Chinese culture, and that's the product. The Chinese people here you saw in the video. That's the product of the CCP's brainwashing. It's very unfortunate, but on the other hand, we really have to see that. I think for Americans, we should be strong. We should be proud of our traditional values and try to protect our freedom so that it will help China as well. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
What's your? It's time for joke.
It's time for joke. It's difficult, guys. I didn't prepare for a joke, so I may have to let you disappointed. However, okay. Before I ran out of track, I was scrambling and just found something that may be related to today's topic.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is a joke in China. All right. He said, the door of the paradise was broken, needs to be fixed. All right. So the God just trying to ask people to submit their bidding, right? Mm-hmm. What would it cost to fix the door? And the Indian said, $3,000. And God is asking why? Because material costs $1,000 and the labor costs $1,000. I need to make $1,000. God said, well, that makes sense. How about Germany? How about German? The German said, I need $6,000.
Oh.
I said, why? Because material $2,000, labor $2,000, and I have to make $2,000, but it's better quality, right?
More expensive, but better quality.
Then they'll come
Germans.
to the Chinese, and the Chinese said, well, simply $9,000.
Wow.
And the guy says, why $9,000? And how do you spend it? Because it's very easy. $3,000, I'll make it, and another $3,000, I will let you have it. The God, you can keep that. And another $3,000, I'm going to pay the Indian guy to build it. That's it.
Bribe.
All right. And then, the door of the hell was broken. Okay. So was the hell master, I don't know what's the word for that. Okay. The hell master tried to fix the door, and he's also trying to open the bidding. And then he learned from the last bidding that happened in the paradise, right? He said, okay, the upper limit would be only $3,000. Okay? So the German came over here, took a look, not worth it, walk away. And the Indian said, oh, okay, I can do 3,000. So he still said 3,000. And the Chinese came here and they said, he gave the, okay, how to say, 小鬼 was the little
gatekeeper,
little ghost. Okay, he bribed him with $500, and he said $3,000. All right, so because of that little leverage, he won the bidding. So he got to fix this. So the Indian and the German was really curious. How did you do it? Right, only $3,000. He's not the best at the fixing doors, and so this Chinese only spent $500 on the material. $500 for on the labor, and then when it come halfway, it declare, got stuck. I cannot do it, and then it's stuck for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Then the hell master cannot tolerate it, have to give another $3,000 to finish this delayed project. So that was done. Anyway, so there's some other jokes. It's a little too long. I don't want to say it. This is literally, it's true. This is a joke in China. It's circulating in China. What does the joke say? It demonstrates how smart we are. Again, I have to tell you, guys, this is really the truth, okay? It is not the Chinese people who are bad, okay? It is the CCP. CCP was never part of Chinese culture. It was never. It was imported into China in the early 1900s. And then it just destroy Chinese culture, destroy Chinese tradition, and destroy Chinese moral, and then teach people into someone who believe in no God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no honor,
no moral, whatever it takes. The means, if I can reach my result, the means does not matter. This is a lot of Chinese are becoming this way, and but the root of the problem is with the CCP. And the Chinese people, many of them still have this, something in their mind and just waiting to be revived, That's why Kathy and I started this media 20 years ago. We try to revive that, that thought of kindness in their mind, help them to recover, to return to their root, and re-find the value that Chinese people have, and in that Chinese culture. And okay, so that's all for today, and hope you like it. It's all bad news, but I think it's really something worth learning. And I think as long as the entire world know what's the essence of the CCP would be doomed. It will be doomed. Yeah. So then we'll have a better future.
Yeah, and another, I think, a bright spot I want to share with you. Actually, this Jing Chanrong, he's actually, for something about China, he was telling truth about like counterfeiting and copycat. But actually, for something he said about United States, because that's back in 2016, right? Mm-hmm. So at that time there was an election going on. Mm-hmm. He actually at that time he said if Trump, can go into White House, it would be a good thing. He actually really read it wrong. Mm-hmm. He said if Hillary was elected, it would be better for China, and if Trump got elected. So he actually, read something wrong about Trump and Trump administration. So, and I wanted to also emphasize, there's a bright side of this story we tell you today. We actually, can be really confident about the United States.
Yep.
Yeah, our values and the founding principles.
Yeah, and thank you very much. We have, we have 125 people viewing, 125 likes. Thank you. You are such a great audience. We absolutely love you, and thank you so very much. And also, don't forget downloading and installing SafeChat. Our program is also there. We'll be building our future platform over there, and it will have the live streaming. As long as that happened, we'll be moving over there. So make sure, please install that. And thank you very much. Let's keep our faith and keep up our effort. And
more people know the truth. They'll be, better. We'll have more hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.